I just came up here to Holdfast facility, and we're here. I'm Todd the Duke, a multi-world champion downhill mountain bike racer, motocross rider, off-road stadium truck racer, monster truck driver, desert racer. You know, I love driving anything motorsports, and I thought this was something that was very true to my heart and it needed to be said. So I wanted to come up here to Holdfast, introduce myself, and do a quick interview with you and fill everyone that doesn't know who you are on a short, history of who you are, your name, and what your plans are.
Yeah, thanks Todd for coming up. I really appreciate it, man. It's just been great getting to know you during this short bit of time. But my name's Brendan McDonough. I'm a former Granite Mountain hotshot. Back in 2013, I lost 19 of my brothers in a wildfire. And kind of where Holdfast comes in is I was an addict beforehand. The fire service saved my life. And after that tragedy, had suffered from PTSD and alcoholism while abusing prescription pain pills. And I was just lost. And I found this healing through counseling and ultimately my relationship with Christ, and it led to opening this treatment center because I wanted people to have that same opportunity that I had. I'm sure you can understand like that national spotlight, and kind of the pressure, and I just folded. I couldn't take it, I couldn't handle it, and I needed to get help. And when I looked around and I was like, man, there needs to be something like what I experienced but put together. And that's where it started 2 years ago, and so here we are today getting ready to have a ripping time and just excited to be able to just chat about this and have a conversation and help break that stigma.
So after this interview, we're taking a bunch of clients from the facility and we're gonna go out and do what?
We're gonna go on a huge razor ride. We're gonna have a big lunch. I'm thinking this is gonna be 3-4 hours. It's gonna be something else. A lot of these guys have never experienced this, and they've lived a life that, they haven't been sober, so they don't get to see the gifts that God's given us. And so that's hopefully what they get to experience today, get the heart racing a little bit and go have some fun.
And just get them out of the house and see the world and see nature and just breathe it all and take it all in, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
So I've never had an addiction with alcohol or drugs. Mm-hmm. What are the first steps that anyone can do to start down this path?
Yeah, I think what's so important is that there's this huge stigma around addiction and drugs and alcohol, right? That it's for people that are just lost in their life, but there's so many people that we run into, so many professionals within first responders, the race world, right?
Yep.
Doctors, nurses, anyone. This disease does not discriminate. And so the biggest thing is taking that first step and knowing you're not alone, and that you've got to reach out and get help because you deserve that help. And that shame and guilt that continues to kind of bury us, we've got to just put that to the side, any ego, any pride, and really reach out and find help. And one of those ways is, reaching out to a pastor, calling us at Holdfast Recovery, hitting the website, www.holdfastrecovery.com, Facebook, like we interact with people in so many different ways, reaching out to a local counselor, just finding a friend even that you can confide in and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I don't know how big of an issue it is, but I want to get help. Because that disease is telling them, don't get help, stay miserable, you're content, you're happy, keep getting high, keep getting drunk.
Keep numbing it or faking it.
Yeah, keep numbing it, keep faking it. And it's like, no, enough is enough. Like, you were meant to live this life and enjoy it and not have these chains that continue to weigh you down.
Yeah, I totally agree. You see it a lot even in action sports. A lot of these athletes are at the top of their game and they start slipping, and they don't want to admit that they have an addiction or a problem, or if they have injuries and years and years of pain pills, eventually you need to stop that. It affects your job, it affects your family, and it is totally discreet. So if you're a celebrity or an action sports athlete, it is 100% off the books, totally quiet. And a lot of it is paid for by health insurance too, right?
Yeah, most major health insurance will cover treatment. And the cool thing is, like you're saying, HIPAA protects people from leaking things out. And so we work with clients of all kind of calibers, primarily a lot of first responders that are on the job suffering with PTSD and addiction, and they're coming to us to get help, and they're going back and being productive, and they're spreading that message within the departments, within their career fields of like, hey, we don't have to live like this anymore. Like, we don't have to wait till we retire. We don't have to wait till our career's over to deal with this baggage. Like, we can do it today and even be better. And I think that's what's so important, is like, we're trying to give families back their kids, their sons, give wives back their husbands, children back their fathers. and really be a part of that integral piece of their life where it's like, you know, whether you've been doing this for a few years or 20 years, there's always hope.
So you said you were high strung in your past. What changed from then to now?
I think when I got sober and my daughter was born back in 2011, I got hired in the fire service. It just showed me kind of where I was lacking. And I've always suffered from ADHD, but I didn't know it, you know, but I was chasing drugs and alcohol to fill different voids. And when I got in the fire service, I realized, like, I'm a high-strung person and I need to slow down. Like, I've got a kid, and, you know, after the tragedy had happened in losing my brothers, I drove back into alcohol and prescription pain pills, and I was just trying to fill a void again. And I realized to kind of heal from that trauma and that grief and loss that I can only do it through Christ and with good counseling, but just living in the moment again, because I spent so much of my life like you're doing a $120 in the desert running from my life, who I was, my past. And so I needed to just stop and slow down and be in the moment. And that's kind of those activities where they've come into my life and have made a difference. You know, sometimes we find ourselves using, you know, in certain arenas and in different lifestyles, and then we look back and it's like, man, those are even activities I like to do, or we get to enjoy them even more, you know?
Yeah, because you're there 100%, not halfway with drugs or alcohol or making it foggy.
Yeah.
I get it. You're almost kind of like, in a way, you're numbing it slightly, and that wasn't the correct way to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So with this here in the COVID times, so many people are stressing, freaking out, you know, dealing with spouses and family and kids and balancing work and losing their jobs. This is the perfect time. What can we do for them?
I think you know, what we can do for them is just let them know it's okay to get help, and Holdfast Recovery is still operating. So we've been fortunate during this time to be considered an essential business, and we've had to put a lot of different safety measures in, but letting people know that we're here during this difficult time. Marriage, divorce is on the rise right now, addiction is on the rise, the suicide hotline's on the rise, individual counseling's on the rise, anything within mental health right now is on the rise. And people need to know that there's still treatment centers out there that are open, and Holdfast Recovery is one of them. And we want to help them, whether it's guiding them to a counselor, to a pastor, whatever it looks like. Just don't suffer in silence, and don't put that off on your family, because they don't deserve it, and neither do they. So I get fired up, man. This is like my passion. This is what I love doing. Like, you love racing, I love helping people, and I just don't want to see people continue to suffer. I was there. I know what it feels like to be at the lowest of lows, and during COVID right now, people are at the lowest of lows, unfortunately, and it doesn't look like there's kind of an end in sight. You know, we just keep watching the news, keep talking about it. It's like, no, let's do something different. Like, let's invest money and time into ourselves.
Make us happy and healthy.
Yeah.
Amen. You want to go do something I love to do?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's get out of here. All right.